Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm Shannon. This is Lifestyle Manifesting. On my channel, I am discussing manifesting as a lifestyle. Design your life and be deliberate. It's deliberate creation. So today I'm talking about inner conversations. I want to talk more about inner conversations because we are already creating with that inner voice that we have within. We're already creating based on what your inner voice is. When we are thinking about what do you mean inner conversation? What I mean is it's your self-talk. It's the inner voice within you. And that inner voice is always talking. You're always talking to yourself through the day. You always have a monologue. Sometimes it's a dialogue with someone else. The most powerful way to create a reality is really aligning your inner conversation or that inner voice, the self-talk that you're having, with your end result. And Neville Goddard even says, when you use your inner talking to align with that vision, you can lay all other processes aside. Well, because actually your inner conversation and everything you're doing is from your inner conversation. So when you're saying an affirmation, it's really like an inner conversation, right? It's that inner voice. You're replacing that inner voice. So you want to deliberately align the thoughts that you're having with your desired end. So let's say, let me just give what a typical day could look like. It would look like you wake up and you're like, and you set the intention. You wake up, you set the intention. Today, right? This is your inner conversation. Today is going to be amazing. Now, you can also step into gratitude because gratitude is the wish fulfilled. That's your inner voice saying, I am so thankful and grateful. I am a blessed person. So if we're saying we are a blessed person, we're creating a reality that reflects that. The mirror must reflect that you feel blessed on other areas of your life. Okay, so if you could focus on feeling blessed, feeling thankful, feeling appreciative, feeling gratitude, that is going to align you with your desired result. That is an inner conversation. That inner conversation is aligning with the end result. So set your intention every morning. Set that intention. Today looks like create general intentions. General intentions would look like, I know that all my desires are already mine. I am in the right place at the right time. Opportunities are always right here. I have more than enough money to spend. I can buy anything. I intend to be able to buy anything today, to have anything. I intend to see and feel my relationship in the 3D reality. All right, so as you're walking through your day, your inner conversation that you're having with yourself is going to revolve around that version of you that already has your desire. So let's say, since relationships always that hot topic, let's talk about a relationship. If you're setting your intention for the day and I intend that it's all working out for me and that I see that I'm a goddess and I'm a magnet and I am the god of my reality. Now, as you're moving through, getting ready and breakfast and through your work day, be in the present moment. And when you have thoughts through the day, let your thoughts think about, I already have my desire. I already know that I'm loved, right? You go to the end of being in a relationship. The bigger picture is you don't just want to manifest a relationship. You want to manifest feeling fulfillment inside. When you manifest fulfillment inside, that reflects in your outer world. The only thing you need to do is have the inner conversations about yourself, being loved, feeling like you're the greatest, knowing that you're the best, knowing and feeling like life has your back and life has everything for you right here, like at your reach. Everything's already at your reach and in your world. You have to practice that. Practice those thoughts consistently. Consistently practice your thoughts that align with your desired end, and your world will absolutely, you'll see a shift. You will see evidence. Don't necessarily focus on the 3D reality. And you can manifest that way, but an even more powerful way is just to focus on self. Go in your imagination and focus on the version of you, that version of you. And you affirm that version of you consistently through the day. I don't care what happened that doesn't feel like it's going right. You say, that's okay. I'm still having all my desires. You didn't get the message that you were hoping for. That's okay. You're still a goddess. The world does not tell you who you are. You tell yourself who you are, and you're unshakable. You stay loyal to that vision of you being in your God state. Well, you're already manifesting all the time. You already are the God of your reality. Right now, think about all the things that you're grateful for. Think about how you really truly feel blessed to be who you are and to be living this life. Let's see, your favorite feelings for when you achieve this state. Content and excited? Yeah, okay, so what are my favorite feelings? I actually feel like content, satisfied, fulfilled. I like the word fulfilled. It's like the wish fulfilled. When you feel fulfilled, it feels good. You ate a nice, beautiful dinner. You feel fulfilled. You feel full and fulfilled. You have love in your life. You feel fulfilled. I like also excited and blissful and ecstasy, because I do shift to a reality where it is feeling exciting a lot. It's feeling exciting, and I'm always feeling surprised, and I'm always feeling entertained. I'm feeling content. If I'm not feeling excited, I'm content and satisfied. Love from Sweden. Hello from Sweden. Okay, so he's on his way to move to Dubai, where he is getting engaged. Okay, well, whatever story you're telling is what's in your reality, because whatever you're aware of, your awareness creates your reality. The stories you tell, the things you're observing in your reality, okay, that's how you're creating your reality. So don't focus on him getting engaged and he's moving to Dubai. None of that matters. None of that matters. Go to the end by focusing on the version of you. The 3D is the effect. The 3D is just the effect. You need to change within your perception of self. You change your perception of self, and if manifesting love in a relationship is what you want, all you have to do is focus on yourself. Not only will your specific person reflect that change, other people. You can have new love that's even better. You could have the new version of your specific person that's even better. So you have to focus on the goal, the vision, the fulfillment. Not necessarily the desire, but the fulfillment of the desire. What does it feel like to have your desire already? The fulfillment of your desire. So focus on the fulfillment of your desire. If you are in a loving, caring relationship, you feel so loved. All you have to do is love yourself that way. See yourself that way. The mirror, the 3D reality is going to reflect that. Let's say I'm looking at a mirror. If I look into a mirror and I said, jump, is the mirror just going to jump? So I'm looking at myself in a mirror and I go, come on, jump. Shannon, why aren't you jumping? And I'm saying that to the mirror, in the mirror, jump. Why am I not jumping? Because why do I not see jumping in the mirror? Because I have to be jumping in order for the mirror to reflect jumping. So I have to, it has to come from self first. So if you want the mirror to reflect anything, you only have to say that within, and say that within consistently, and have that be your new story consistently. You're creating a new normal and natural. So for someone to reflect that they love you, you can't be like, hey, why don't you love me? You have to tell yourself. You have to feel love for yourself. You have to choose yourself. You have to decide that you are chosen and that you are loved and you are wanted, and you feel that way about yourself. You lack nothing. You don't feel lonely. If you feel lonely, then your world will show you you're lonely, for the most part, right? Maybe not in every area, because you perceive reality in many different facets in many different ways. So maybe you're not lonely when it comes to family and friends, but feel lonely in love. because it's the story you're telling yourself. So you have to start telling a different story. If you're feeling sad and lonely and you just had the Thanksgiving holiday and you were alone, what you need to be doing, instead of feeling lonely, victim mentality, feeling sorry for yourself, you need to start imagining and feeling the fulfillment of already having the dream. I'm already in the dream relationship. I already love and appreciate myself. I choose myself. I take care of myself. Now that is going to reflect a world in the mirror of 3D reality, reflect the mirror showing you love, being cared for, compassion, obsession, somebody obsessed with you and in love with you. All right, so remember that when you're thinking about why isn't anything changing in the 3D, because it can't change unless you change your own perception, but you have to stick with the perception you have. Because I can't like jump, in the mirror and I go, oh yeah, I'm jumping. And then I stop jumping and then I look at the mirror, I go, well, what happened? Well, what happened? I stopped jumping, so the mirror doesn't show that I'm jumping anymore. Because I looked more at the mirror. What's happening in the mirror? What's happening in the reflection? So the key is to go into your imagination as causation. The causation of your life is your imagination. That's the causation. The physical world you see is the effect. So you have to create the vision of what you want consistently. And here's what sometimes if you're seeing a little bit of movement, it's because you're affirming and you're like, oh, I feel good. I'm on my self-concept. I'm feeling great. But then when you look at the 3D reality after 3 or 4 days of maybe nothing, and you go, oh, nothing's happening. Well, you just affirmed something new. You just declared something new. You need to affirm only from the imagination, not from what you see in the world. Fairy Queen, me and my SP broke up in July and saw him at a family thing. Told me he has moved on completely. Okay, I've had 6 men I've went on dates with say the first date, you're so magnetic, you're irresistible, all but my SP. Well, do you understand that it's working? It's working. The fact that you've been, you know that's all deliberate. Because before you started affirming, I'm magnetic and I'm irresistible, were people telling you that? Okay, so do you see the causation? You are affirming this. You are seeing yourself this way. You're feeling better about yourself. You see a reflection in the 3D reality. You go, oh, it's working. But it's not working for SP. That's an affirmation also. So you have to declare, it is working. It works for them. It's working for my SP. This desire is already mine. So you just have to change how you perceive reality and remember that you're the operant power. All you have to do is keep declaring it. Okay? Okay, so it's done. Like you can manifest this today. Do you understand that? So a really powerful way to go in your mind, imagining, you already have it. So how can you imagine more carefully how you already have this desire? Start picturing it already happened yesterday. Start revising yesterday of things that you did together. So whether you could revise it as it happened yesterday, or you could feel like it's already right now, right? All of that works. Feel like it happened yesterday. Practice in your mind imagining what that feels like that it happened yesterday. Okay. I mean, maybe you even want to go a month back. It happened a month ago. Now keep being the vision of you where it happened a month ago. Your inner conversations need to line up with, I already have my desire. I already feel fulfilled. I am blessed and I feel blessed. I am loved and I feel loved. I love me. It is a privilege to be with me because I cultivate love and abundance, and I cultivate prosperity, and I cultivate health and well-being and creativity and inspiration. I mean, ultimately, those are still conditions also. Ultimately, you are infinite. You are infinite love, and by birthright, every desire is yours. So some of those affirmations I'm saying is just to create the 3D personality of that version of you you want to be. But by birthright, your desire is yours. Don't fall for the 3D. We're all learning. I like how you worded that. Yeah, don't fall for the 3D. We're all learning. And that's something really powerful to say in the moment. First of all, don't beat up on yourself saying, I should have known that. Oh, it's okay. We're all learning. This is figuring it out. I love that statement. Like, we're all learning. We don't need to be yelled at for spilling milk. It's an accident. What we manifested the opposite. It's an accident. We're just learning. We're figuring it out. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to say, that's okay. It's making me more powerful and I'm learning. And I intend to know this so deeply because I am powerful. I am the creator. Okay, so how do you manifest an X back, Selena? You're going to focus all of your attention on yourself. That's how you get your X back. Because wherever you're putting your attention, wherever you put your focus, that's what is growing in your life. So all you need to do is stop thinking about, what is my ex doing? What are they doing? What is he doing? Where is he? Where did he go? What is he thinking? Who is he with? How does he feel? Okay, that's outside of you. To create the reality where this person is with you, you have to be saying, right, I'm just saying he, but obviously anyone, whoever your preference is in your reality, that's what you say, he, she, they, the person's name, okay? So all you have to do is stop doing that and putting focus on the 3D of what you don't have and feeling lonely. You have to cultivate fulfillment within. Cultivating fulfillment within is like feeling and focusing on yourself, feeling love for yourself. What you could do is purchase my self-concept course. My self-concept course is a blueprint for creating the vision of you who has your desire. The self-concept course, the link's in my bio, Master Your Reality by Mastering Your Self-Concept, that was created from success stories, from my own success stories, from the success stories of my clients, and from the understanding and the deep dive I took in knowing how to create your reality and how to have success. To have success, you have to see yourself as success. See yourself as the version of you that already has your ex back. It's not about your ex whatsoever. It's not about that person whatsoever. It's not about the money out there whatsoever. It is about the concept that you hold of yourself and what you assume of yourself. How do you assume you're treated? How do you assume you're viewed by generally people? Okay, you're going to be general about it. Generally about people. Because we don't need to focus on specific things in our reality. We can manifest so powerfully just by seeing us as the version of the person who's the God of their reality, who gets anything they want. That you are a master manifester, and you are the most amazing person. You are irresistible, irreplaceable. It's a privilege to be with you. You have to see that vision of you. And I'm telling you, I've had success stories that blew my mind, so quickly. Fairy Queen, every day I affirmed and had this news story for 4 months. He still said he moved on completely. Okay, well, oh wait, is that part of the other question? Yeah. But so let me just, because I didn't see this part of it where you said you had the news story for 4 months. The news story for 4 months needs to be forever. So here's where you really break the cycle of the 3D reflecting an old reality. This is what you do to break the cycle. Because you affirm. Now it's been 4 months, okay? But first of all, you're already looking at the time. It's been 4 months. That's you 4 months of saying what? That you don't have your desire? It's not necessarily about, it's not just the affirmation. It's what does the affirmation imply? Does the affirmation imply lack, that you don't have it? Because that's not going to get you your desire necessarily. When you feel like I don't have it and you're affirming for it, the inner feeling is I do not have this. You want to affirm from a place of I already have this. Okay? You're not even worried if they're interested in you, because now you're feeling like a total goddess, a total queen, like a princess in your world, And everyone, everyone you're interested in is interested in you, and you have the choice. You have the choice. See yourself as that version. You always get what you want. Okay. Now, how I was going to mention, let's say you've affirmed this, you're really feeling it. Then he says, you know what? I'm still moving on completely. What is your assumption in that moment? That is the key for you to figure out where you're at. Are you aligned with the version of you with your desire? Or if you're not aligned with the version of you with your desire? The minute he says, no, I've completely moved on. What was your assumption? Was your assumption like, sure, I understand. Like in the 3D, you tell him, I understand. Okay. Now, what do you do in your mind? In your imagination, you're like, oh, I got this. I am the God of my reality. This desire is mine. Nothing throws me off. I know it's all working. Circumstances doesn't matter, or circumstances don't matter. He said you'll be thinking, he said he moved on completely. No, he hasn't. He is madly in love with me. I'm a goddess. That version of you aligns with the end, and I promise you, you will manifest that fast. But when he said, I've moved on completely, what was your assumption, or what was your reaction? Was your reaction like, I got this? Or was your reaction, oh my God, it didn't work. I've been affirming for 4 months. It's been 4 months and I thought I had this. What am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Should I be scripting? Maybe I should do it more. I forgot to do it yesterday. These are all thoughts that we think. And they're all normal thoughts, by the way. Okay, but all those are normal thoughts for the old version of someone not knowing they are the operant power. Okay, so you got to dissolve that version of you. Dissolve that version of you, because that's the reason why you don't have your desire. Because that version of you is the version of you that doesn't know that you have this desire. That version of you is not aligning with consistently having this desire. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter that all happened. Like, don't focus on time. Don't focus on the 4 months. Okay? Because this can happen now. Because it's already done. Because it's already yours. Because you create from within, as within, so without. You create from your imagination. First cause is your imagination. Okay, so this is how you practice. Now, what can you do? If you want, go and revise that. Revise how you reacted. You could even revise what he said. You could revise that he said, you know what? I miss you. Let's talk later. Imagine that. Okay, I mean, that's still creating from the 3D. You could just go to the end. But for some people, it feels more natural just to do kind of like something that feels linear time. That's okay. There's no right or wrong. You could still manifest pretty quickly that way as well. Okay, so, he is madly in love with you. Go in your imagination and feel that desired reality. Not about him wanting to be with you, but about you. It's about self. You have to focus on self. You have to focus on the vision of yourself. The vision of yourself that's like, imagine you're telling your best friend you have been with your SP for a whole year. Now, what is your best friend saying to you? They're like, oh my God, Fairy Queen, you and SP, right? She's saying your names, right? And your best friend is like, oh my God, you guys are like the power couple. You guys just have so much money. You guys are like ripping up this world. You're going and having fun. I love that you guys are such a great couple. I love that you look so good together. I love the way that you laugh together. I love the way that you just look so deeply connected together. Imagine your best friend is saying that to you and you're like, oh my God, I know. I am so blessed to have this relationship. By the way, this is a technique. This is the most powerful technique, going in your imagination and creating inner conversations with yourself, with your friends, with your family about living in the end with your desire. And what does that look like? And how does that make you feel that all your friends are just noting, they are so happy for you. They are just so thrilled for you. They support you and they're excited for you. Okay. And they're like, oh my God, when he looks at you, he's madly in love with you. You guys are madly in love with each other. Okay. Do you understand? Our life is literally the story we tell. What story are we telling? Are we telling the story, and not just telling the story, but embodying the version of you that has it? Become that version now. You practice it now, consistently now. The only moment that exists is the present moment. Okay, so whether we could also go into the future or go into the past in the present moment, because it's all the same. It really is all the same. Keep aligning to that vision. Yeah, Barry, does manifesting an ex back, even if he said we don't match and don't belong, he used to be obsessed. Okay, so I'm going to just give an idea of what I think may have happened, right? This is more general, so it might not be specifically for you, but you know when we get in a relationship and it's like, oh, it's going great, and you feel good, and they're really interested, and now for some reason you just didn't hear from them for whatever reason. Your state of being, you can figure out your state of being based on, just observing your past relationships, or, observing your reality. So if our assumption is, oh my gosh, he's not, what's he doing? Where is he going? Like, he's not calling me anymore. That's an assumption coming from an insecurity within of, I don't know if I'm the one. I don't know if he's still interested. Okay, so that's how that usually happens. Okay, that's just one example of infinite possibilities. But we see that in our world, right? We get excited for the relationship. We got so interested in our specific person, more interested in them than in our own life. And now, the minute they're doing something without you, where's your mindset? What are you thinking about? Are you starting to wonder and worry and doubt? That's why that person is no longer acting obsessed with you, because you were already kind of starting to chase them. And then in your mind, with the insecurity or feeling unsure, that just shows a reality of that person is unsure about you. Okay, so it's a very easy fix. It's a very easy fix. The easy fix is you affirm the reality you want. I don't care. Right. Okay. It's not that I don't care. It doesn't matter what anybody said to you. It doesn't matter if someone told you didn't get the promotion. It doesn't matter if the doctor told you were very ill. It doesn't matter if your specific person said to you, we don't belong together. None of that matters, because you have the power to literally override that reality. You can transcend that reality, because everyone in your reality is already a reflection of you. Nothing exists in your consciousness, in your perception of reality without you. It's your consciousness that's creating. Okay, so what are the contents of your imagination? What are you thinking about? If the doctor tells you you're really sick, the people that overcome that are like in their mind, no, I'm going to do everything possible. I believe I can do it, right? Think of the placebo effect, okay? They have this faith or this belief. You have to tap into that. It doesn't matter what it is. Specific person told you we're not a match. Start affirming in your mind. Just test it out. Just test it out. You're not doing anything except testing it. And no, you're not hurting anybody. All you're going to do is go in your mind and say, yeah, we do. I am a match for anyone that I want. That's what you say to yourself, right? Because you're the creator. So think from yourself, first person, self-concept. Okay, like, who do you want to be? You want to be the person who's like, anyone who I like? Of course, they just fall in love with me. If you spend any time with me, you just fall in love with me. If I'm interested in you, you just fall in love with me. It is a privilege to be with me. It is loving and caring to be with me. It's an inspiration to be with me. So this is the concept of someone who feels, right? This is just a general idea. That's the concept of someone who feels like, hey, I can get anyone. And I know my value. I know I'm valuable. I know it's a privilege to be with me. I know my own value, and I know my own worth, and I know that I am enough. Okay, so now paint that picture of you and be that version of you every single day. A really powerful way to do this, and this is part of what I do in my self-concept course. If any of you want the blueprint for creating and being the version of you with your desire, go to my self-concept course. I have so many success stories there. It's created from success, and this is some of what you do in that course, right? And that course just takes a few days to do. It's like 3 to 5 days to do that course, to implement it, and you work on your own. So you paint the picture by scripting out the version of you that you want to be. And you just script that out. You script out and you write down the version of you with your desire. What does that look like? What does she feel like or he feel like? What do you look like? How do you act? How do you speak? How do you think? Just embody that person. You don't even have to change any of your clothes. You could just be imagining how you look. You can imagine. Do you know that you don't have to be dressed to the T's to be noticed? You don't have to be dressed. It's all about your the inner state and how you feel about yourself. You could be wearing pajamas. You could be out in public wearing pajamas and people thinking, oh my God, look at the goddess. You are a goddess. It's all about your perception of your own self. Okay, so you don't, some people do like that feeling of like buying new clothes, and that feels good. That's good. It's not the clothes. It's not the clothes, or it's not the change of hairstyle or losing weight or anything. It's how you feel about you. Okay. You could get to that feeling without changing a thing. And when you feel that way about you, your world reflects it. This is really one of the most powerful ways to do it, because you won't condition it on, well, I have to have nice clothes, or I have to have a good job, or I have to have this. We're not conditioning our manifestations. We're not conditioning a relationship. You are going to the source, which is that infinite love, the infinite you within, knowing and connecting with that version of you. All right. So that is what you're going to do. And you're going to do that today, and you're going to, then you script that out. You script out that version of you. Now read it every day. Wake up every day with the intention to embody that version of you. It's almost like, think of yourself like an actor. So anytime somebody takes on a new role, A-list celebrity who does an amazing job, we are watching the movie and we're crying. We feel like we are right there with them. Okay, so when the actor got into the role, they didn't have it at first. They had to practice that role. They had to practice. They practiced it over and over and over. And they practice. So the same thing for you. Think of yourself as practicing this version of you. It's okay that you're practicing it. Okay, but as you practice it, you could also declare, I already am this, and solidify it. And you read that version of you, and then you move through your day feeling like that version of you. You're not affected by the three. You're not even worried if that person doesn't want you. You know your value. You know you're enough. You know that you are everything. So you're not worried about that person. And by the way, as a result, when you're no longer worried about someone else's validation outside of you, and you validate yourself, now the world is just a mirror, and that will show you what you feel within. Claudia said, thank you for all the guidance. Just manifested my law degree with your help. Love. That's amazing. Congratulations. That's incredible. All right, so look at that. Love the success stories. Angelica said, I'm affirming it's easy because I'm tired of hard and it's feeling easier. Look at that, right? That's exactly what you should be doing, Angelica. You've got this down, okay? Because you know what we want to do? Like the old version of us wants to be like, oh, I'm so tired. Then you go out with friends and you're like, and now we're complaining. I'm tired. I did this. Okay, and then we actually just create reality that reflects like, oh, I'm tired and this is hard. And then, okay, it's easy. It's easy. It's easier than I thought. This is so easy to manifest anything. It's easy to manifest something that appears to be big because there's no difference than something big than something little. It is easy to live my life. Manifesting is easy. Figuring this out is easy. Remember, you only need to keep declaring how you want things to be in order for that world to manifest. So just claim, this is really easy. It's easy for me to manifest a specific person. It's easy for people to fall in love with me. Okay, it's easy because I'm lovable. It's easy for me to pass any test. It's easy for me to live a great life. It's easy for me to get upgraded for free all the time. It's easy for me to get the best parking spaces. Just think about now, just think on your way to places. Are you like, oh my God, I'm going to be late. It's not going to work out. They're going to be mad that we're late. Like, what are your thoughts? Because all you have to do is start assuming everyone's okay. We manifest whatever we say, whatever we're consistently saying to ourselves. Now, observe generally what you say to yourself. Generally, what are you saying? Are you saying, oh, this is hard. I never have enough time in the day. There's not enough time to get everything done. I'm exhausted. I'm overworked, right? Are those, because we don't even say those things out loud. We say those things with our inner conversation, in our inner voice, that self-talk within. And that is what's manifesting our reality. So if you're thinking, I never have enough time, start saying, I intend to have enough time today. I intend to get everything done that I need to get done today. I intend today feels really relaxing. I intend, right? So you have to focus your direction towards your kind of preferred reality, right? Towards the goal, towards the preferred reality, towards the experience you want. It's easy, right? Just like Angelica said. It's easy because I'm tired of it being hard, and it is easier. And look, you're having evidence. It feels easier. Do I have a self-love meditation? I do. In my playlist, I have self-concept affirmations or self-concept playlist. In the self-concept meditations, I am chosen. I am hot girl walking meditation. I am confident. So I have many different meditations that you can listen to, and you want to think from that version of you. Fairy Queen, but they have free will. I beg to differ. To differ. And I'm not going to say whether you do or you don't. All you have to do is test it. I'm going to tell you my experience, and then you move through your life and you test it out yourself. So when I started knowing, I started recognizing a lot of things were shifting in my world. Like I lost everything I knew my life to be, and literally felt like I had nothing. I felt like I lost it all. And as my thoughts were changing drastically, I saw that what I was thinking was happening. I didn't see it in the moment. It was like several months later, I was like, well, I was thinking that, and I was thinking that, and I was thinking, and all those things that I was thinking about happened. Because not only did I think about them, then after it happened, I was like, okay, I think everything I'm thinking is happening, right? So I already recognized that was happening. And then I started thinking to myself, wait, if I'm manifesting everything, I understood that we're all one, and I understood everyone is yourself pushed out. And that means everyone in your reality is a reflection of you. So I started thinking, if everything in my reality is my thoughts and my assumptions, let me test it. So I started testing it, and I tested it with many different things. And I started thinking, wait, I've been saying, which is affirming, for many years. I had been saying that my older son's teeth looked like SpongeBob, and he had a big gap, and I was saying all these things like that. And I was like, wait, I said to myself, like, I'm creating his teeth to be exactly how they are? And something like that higher self said yes to me. And I was like, okay, so let me test it out. So what did I start doing? I started affirming. I started visualizing his teeth. Like at the time I was a single mom. And at the time I was like, I don't want to buy braces. He was 10 years old. I didn't want to have to buy or 9 or 10. I didn't want to have to buy braces. I was single. I didn't want to spend the money. So I just wanted to test it. I didn't think there was anything wrong with a gap in his teeth. I just wanted to test it. That because I was talking about with the other moms, I was like, oh, his teeth are all messed up or whatever. So I just started affirming his teeth growing perfectly straight. I started visualizing my smile on his face. I started visualizing. Now, also, we have a belief and assumption that children are growing. So there's that behind it, right? Because I can see that it could feel easier to manifest this than it would if I just saw a friend of mine. Okay. And by the way, this did happen with a friend of mine who actually bought Invisalign. So, and I didn't even intentionally do that, but it was something that I was focusing on because I was focusing on it with my son, that now my friend was telling me about getting Invisalign. So what happened with my son over the year, his teeth started, he doesn't have the gap anymore between his front teeth. Okay. Within like a year, his teeth started shifting and moving. And then they just started shifting and moving. Exactly how I was visualizing my smile. I was just visualizing like teeth straight, nice smile. I was just visualizing that on him. So his teeth are still growing in. He's 13 now. But they have all shifted and moved. So I'm like, everything. Not just your specific person, not just the money coming in your life. It's literally everything. So I tested out with green lights. I was like, well, I tried to test it out with traffic and green lights. I started wanting to get like every green light. Even my kids will say, oh, don't worry, mama, we won't be late because we're going to get all the green lights, because I've been affirming that for now it's been several years. So I just started affirming. I get the best parking spot. I always get green lights. I have great experience when I'm driving. People are kind because I live in the city of Chicago. So when I drive, as a real estate agent, by the way, I've been a real estate agent 15 years or 17 years now. I lived in my car driving through the city, road rage happening. Not me road rage, but I assumed everyone else had road rage because it was a city. And I assumed they cut me off, and I assumed people were jerks. I assumed that. That was just an assumption because that's what I lived. So I started thinking, am I creating the traffic? Am I creating my experience that people are rude to me and cutting me off? I don't know. So all I did was test it out. So do people have free will? Oh, by the way, I tested it out. I started affirming. Everyone's nice. They let me go. They're always kind. They're stopping for me. Everyone's considerate. I can't even tell you my traffic and my driving experience now is incredibly crazy, amazing. It's like people literally stop for me because I've been affirming that. And now, once you affirm it, you'll see it happen and go, oh, it's happening. It's working, right? Now, the fact that it worked, it built my belief. So now it's happening every day, several times a week. The more I keep affirming, it is working. Now it's solidifying where it's just part of my natural normal. This is my natural normal experience. So opposite from 5 years ago. 5 years ago, it was like I couldn't even stand getting in my car. So does anything in your world have free will? Just test it out like I did. So I didn't only test it with those things. I kept testing it over and over with all the people in my life, with my kids, with my family, with my mom, with my family, my brothers, and all the people in my world, with my specific person. Everyone in my world, okay, I tested it. So, do people have free will? You just test it. In my world, people don't. In my world, I was already doing this. We are already doing this. You just don't know it. You just don't realize. The reason you don't know it is because you didn't really test it. The reason you don't know it is because you didn't really think that this was even possible. So all you have to do is test it and you will prove it to yourself. Just start telling yourself the thing and experience that you want. Does it matter if I have all green lights? No, because I could also manifest it doesn't matter if I'm late. I can manifest that reality. I kind of thought it was fun to test getting all green lights. Do I get every green light all the time? No, but I can't tell you. I can tell you. It's like boom, like green light, green light, green light. And it's like, I feel like I'm parting the Red Sea. This is what they talk about in the Bible when they say, right, the manifestation, miracles of manifestation, where you move that mountain or part the sea. It's because you're looking from a new perspective. And now through the new perspective, it's a whole new experience. Everything is just open up for me. So just start talking to yourself as if you already have the life you want to live. You could literally just wake up every day going, I'm living my dream life. I love that I'm living my dream life. But and now you consistently say it every day until it reflects it. You're not going to go, oh, sucks, it didn't happen today, not working. Because guess what? Now you just declared and affirmed it's not working. And now your world. And that's really what more of your belief is, okay? Because if we're so quick to say it's not working, so quick to say, oh, but he didn't tell me he loves me. If we're so quick to say that, it means that we have not solidified that vision of ourselves in our mind. And it doesn't take that long to solidify that vision of yourself. And by the way, even if it takes a little bit of time or a lot of time, it's still okay, because look at all the things you learn in the process. Okay, there's a lot of things, everything's reflecting you. And there's a lot of ways you can test that everyone is yourself pushed out. Okay, so just have an idea like I did. I had an idea. Even my dog. So when, my dog felt sick, and what I did when my dog was sick and just laying down, a puppy at the time, he's like 2.5 now. He was only a year. And he was really sick, throwing up, laying down, very like lethargic, right? Just lying down lethargic. So the natural thing to do from the old version of us growing up is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you feel bad, right? You're empathizing or sympathizing, and you're feeling bad for them, and you're identifying with that, right? That's like a victim mentality. Identifying with, oh, you feel bad, and okay. So instead of doing that, I started I kind of wanted to do that, but then I go, oh no, I'm going to visualize my puppy is up and running around and playing with the ball and happy and, prancing around. So I kept imagining that. I'd look over, he's still laying down, lethargic, but I didn't go, oh, it's not working. I was like, I'm blow a kiss to him in his little spot that he's laying. And in my mind, I just visualize he's jumping and playing with the ball. Okay. It was like 4 hours later, he's really moving. He started moving around. And later that day, he was jumping around. Okay. It is our imagination. So you have to be disciplined with your mind and what your thoughts are or where your thoughts go. This isn't the only way to create. You could also create from, there's another powerful, these are all powerful ways to create. We don't have to necessarily micromanage all our thoughts. Okay, that works, but we could also decide, I came here to live a good life, and I'm living my dream life. It doesn't matter what happens today, I'm getting everything I want. Okay, and then we could move through the day without even necessarily affirming, but just having the belief that I am the creator and I get everything I want. You could just have that belief. I am Kenya, but how does that connect you with a SP? How does what connect you with an SP? Your whole world is a reflection of you. So how do you get connected with your specific person? You just see yourself as the version of you who attracts anyone and everyone, including your specific person. Basically, that's what you do. So what does that look like? Well, it doesn't look like you're crying to your friend that your SP hasn't called you today. You're not doing that. You're not feeling lonely that you spent Thanksgiving without them. You're not wondering and feeling like, I want to call them, but they didn't call me. That doesn't connect you with your specific person. That's the version of you who doesn't have them. So make a little exercise. What is the version of you who doesn't have them, and who is the version of you who does have them? Start getting really clear about those two versions of you. Okay? The version of you who doesn't have them, what is that version doing? Are you doing those things today? Have you done those things today? Okay? By the way, there's ways to override all of everything. There are paradoxes of everything because everything exists, if you understand that, right? So even if today you were doing that, you could just say, well, circumstances don't matter, so it doesn't matter if I talk about that. As long as you have that belief and you're creating that and understanding that your reality will reflect that. Okay, so the version of you with your specific person would be saying that, would be saying circumstances don't matter. So what? I had a whole conversation for an hour with my friend about SP. And I felt lonely yesterday, but circumstances don't matter. I'm getting my desire. I'm allowed to feel lonely. We could still feel that way. There's that one story Neville Goddard had of the young girl who was on the streetcar, and she was like 18 or 19. She had just lost her father. The holidays were coming up. She wasn't going to be spending the holiday. Her dad had died. I think there was like no money, and she was on the streetcar crying. And there were a bunch of other kids going home, maybe from school or something. And all the other kids were laughing and excited about Christmas and the holiday coming up. She started to cry, but it was raining. So she's in a streetcar, probably like California or, like San Francisco. When he said streetcar, I'm thinking San Francisco, right? And she stuck her head out the window or out the door, right? She stuck her head in the rain. It happened to be raining. She was crying. She was feeling bad. She still got her manifestation. What did she do? She embodied with the rain on her face. She closed her eyes and imagined that she was in, I forgot. Where was she in? Not Barbados. She wanted to go to a place. She wanted to go somewhere. If anyone knows, put it here. But I can't remember that part of the story. But she did manifest that. Okay, she aligned with that reality. She aligned with that reality even though she was crying, even though she was sad. What did she do? As the rain hit her face, she imagined she was in that other place. It was like a tropical place. She imagined she was there. She imagined she could feel the salt on her face, the salt of the waves of the ocean splashing on her face. Okay, and what happened? It subsequently found out an aunt had passed away and left an inheritance to this little girl, and this girl was able to go to that place. So you can manifest anything. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be. It's not about being happy. It's not about being excited. It's about imagining. It's about using your imagination to feel and be in that place. Okay. Okay, tips on visualizing. I want you to think about, I'm really good at visualizing. Remember, you don't have to visualization does not have to be a clear picture, just like you're watching a movie, right? You don't have to imagine this crisp, clear picture and hearing voices. Visualization is putting your attention on that preferred reality. What you could also say is, I intend to be really good at visualizing, okay? And you just decide I am good at visualizing. I'm good at like, let's just do this little exercise. Like, you are you're at the airport. You are boarding. You're boarding the plane. Priority. Your priority. They said, come and board the plane. They put you in the seat, the very first seat in first class. You're going across the continent, so it's like these seats, the beautiful first class lounge seats. There's a champagne glass waiting for you with a mimosa in it, and you have champagne and you have orange juice, and now you're grabbing the rim of the cup and you're taking a sip of it, and it tastes so good. Okay, so you're visualizing as I'm saying that. You're not picturing so clearly, but it's not about what you see necessarily. It is about the feeling that you are conjuring up. The feeling of the implication, like what it implies to feel like, wow, I feel like really special and I feel really good and I'm in first class, and what does that feel like? What does it feel like to be boarding the plane? And what does it feel like that people say hello to you? What does it feel like? You practice feeling that. So it doesn't matter what the scene is, it's what the scene implies, how you feel. Do you feel like life sucks? Or do you feel like this is all right, I got this, okay? Or do you feel like I'm already in this place? And we could feel that way. It doesn't matter. Remember the story about the girl with her face in the rain. She manifested going, and I mean, that's not my only example. I have examples from my own life, from my clients' lives, of imagining, even though you feel distraught, even though you feel upset. I generally teach, though, I generally teach to shift your perspective, because I personally have shifted into an experience where I'm pretty excited and happy most of the time. I'm feeling fulfilled most of the time. I'm feeling excited about life. I wake up thinking that I am in my dream life, and I'm excited for the day. And so I like that, and I teach that because I like that. You don't have to do that 100%. But if you want an SP, do you have to have a particular story about that person? Not necessarily. I mean, you want to have the story, you want to have the story more about, I'm irresistible. If you're irresistible, that means you're irresistible to everyone. Okay, do you see that? It's easier. I mean, we do have stories happening in our life, okay? So I usually go there about the SP when someone feels so sure about themselves and they're just not seeing a reflection with a specific person. Maybe sometimes there's stories like maybe there's cultural differences, and this person thinks that their specific person thinks that they're not the right culture, or right, or their family doesn't approve of them. Okay, so you've got to change that story and decide to validate yourself. You have to decide, I am enough, I am worthy, I accept me. And I know other people accept me. Okay, but you're not looking for the acceptance from others. You decide that you're accepted. You could also decide, I don't care if you accept me or not. Okay, so in a way that does reflect the story in the 3D. Sarah, can you do inner conversations examples with SP? Yes, and by the way, I have more, I will do some examples here, but I have some examples on my YouTube channel with inner conversations. I have a couple videos, and I do have a meditation with inner conversations, practicing. Within my VIP group, I do inner conversation videos and practice also. I think I have a sheet with so many ideas of inner conversations. So that would look like your specific person saying, I'm madly in love with you and I love being with you and you light up my life. Like, you are the person that I'm thinking about all day long. I love being with you. And what are you saying back to them? You're like, oh my God, I love you. I love that you're telling me how you feel about me. And I love that I feel so safe with you. I love that I feel secure with you. I love that I'm just sure about us. I know that we are meant to be together. Okay, so really it's anything that you want to hear. Start writing those things down. What are the things that you want to hear said to you? You want to hear someone say, you're so beautiful. I love you so much. I always want to be with you. I always want you to come out with me and my friends. I don't ever want to go out with them without you. Otherwise, I'm not going. I just want to be with you. Okay, I love that we grow together. I love that we inspire each other to be the best version of ourselves. Or maybe they won't say best version of ourselves, but I'm seeing that in my reality. So we inspire each other to be better people. You always inspire me to be the best I can be. Okay, now, and think about, it is really powerful when I give ideas, but now come up with, like, go into your own exercise and do this on your own, because the more that you can really be stepping into, going into your imagination and thinking about this, you're really imprinting that within yourself, like on your subconscious mind. Okay, so when you read about how manifestations shouldn't take more than 30 days or 2 weeks, but nothing. Okay, a manifestation, I align with Neville Goddard. There are ways that we know not of. It's not our job to know the how. Our job is to choose our reality. Our job is to choose reality and to know it's already ours because we are the creator. The truth is, you get better and better and better, and you get faster. And it feels easier the more that you practice it, the more you prove it to yourself. The more you prove it to yourself, you have a deeper conviction, you have a deeper faith, you have a deeper belief. So it is true that over time of practicing it, you build your belief, you manifest faster. Okay, now when you're listening, now I feel like you guys are at a huge, huge advantage to like, for these manifestations to happen so much quicker, because there are so many people teaching manifestation online about specific people. When I was learning this, nobody was teaching it. I don't think there was anybody teaching it. They weren't even teaching specific person. They were teaching other. The only person I knew that was online was Amy with Illuminating Joy, and she didn't really talk about specific person. But I knew based on what she was speaking about that I could take that and apply it to anything. Okay, and I don't necessarily teach the same way that she does, but in a way, there's similar. Could be similarities, right? I would suggest pick 1 or 2 manifesting coaches that you really like and only focus on them, because every coach is right. But if you're confused and you're like, let me listen to Shannon, now let me listen to this person, if you're listening to 5 to 10 different people, 5 and 10 different coaches will give you a little bit different information based on their own personal experience. Every single one of us is correct because every single one of us is having success. Every single one of us is having success based on our own perception and our own experience. Okay, so if you choose just 1 or 2, I mean, 1 would be really powerful. I swear you just have to choose 1 coach to listen to and decide this is it. Okay, but the minute you start searching for someone else to say, well, let me see what someone else says. Now it's like, well, you're not in your power because you're searching and you're trying to get the answers. You just have to declare you have the answers. How long is it going to take? I don't care because I already have the manifestation. I mean, that's a better thought than how long is it going to be? When is it going to be? Is it going to take 30 days? Is it going to take 2 weeks? All of that implies you do not have it. And if you do not feel like you have it and you're looking for it, your world will only show you still don't have it. And you may have a possibility of manifesting over linear time because as you keep affirming it, you'll have evidence here and there. And that evidence can build up more and more and more. I'm not saying that I never focus on time because sometimes I do. And I manifest things in a time crunch. I've manifested money, big money on a time crunch. Okay, I understand my power. I understand that I create my reality. And I understand how to manifest from a place of already having versus lack. If you want to think about the whole world as a manifestation. So you've always been manifesting your whole life. You've been manifesting without calling it manifesting, right? You've been calling it, I'm living my life. Everything that you live in your life is your creation or your manifestation. Okay, so you've always been living life. Now just look at your life you've been living. You knew things on a time. You knew things that you were going to get it by a certain time. You knew that. You knew that because of your beliefs about reality. Okay, so now all you have to do is change your beliefs about reality. You could change your belief as, I am someone who's so good at manifesting fast. You don't want that's going to get you to a version of you manifesting really fast. It's really easy for me. It's instant, it's fast, it's effortless. One of the powerful books that I read that helped me align to a reality where you can manifest fast is Autobiography of a Yogi, okay, which they don't teach manifestation like this whatsoever. Okay, but there's value in that book. The value in that book is there are mystic yogis manifesting. They just put their hands out and it smells like roses. And I was like, oh wow, we could create. So by the way, I have created created experiences where I'm no longer there's like no longer people with bad breath. Okay, like these things I just tested out. Okay, so because I read that book and I thought that's interesting. So I started visualizing and picturing and revising a different experience. Okay, does it matter if someone has bad breath? No, it doesn't. I'm telling you, there are different ways just to test this to see how things work. You test it for yourself. So the book, Autobiography of a Yogi, is really powerful because there are so many wild and crazy things. They're not wild and crazy, right? They're manifestations that happen like that. Okay, yogis that are transporting their body, disappearing and reappearing. This is happening right now in our reality. If you're not aware of it, you're not seeing it. Have I seen that in my physical world? No. Okay, but I understand the possibility of that existing. And so many other ideas and so many other not just ideas, but examples, so many examples of instant manifestations. Okay, and it was pretty normal and natural. That was normal and natural. All you have to do is start creating the world in the vision of your world. It's normal and natural. You get everything you want really quickly. By the way, there are people before, I mean, now I know that I'm that way, but even as someone asleep to knowing my power, there are people that always got what I knew people in my life that kind of always got what they wanted. Okay? So that those people already exist. Some of those people are just really assertive. And by the way, when you're an assertive person, you do get what you want because that person has gotten clear about what they want. They're like, I want that. I saw a video on TikTok where a girl said, oh, I remember my friend, she could get anything she wanted. And she goes, she basically said her friend that was rich could go anywhere and she was assertive and she'd say, I'm cold. I want a sweater. And she's at a restaurant. And then she would just turn to a guy and say, can you get me a sweater? And the guy got her a sweater. Okay, so because it's about it's like you could be assertive in your world. She expected that she would have a sweater. Okay. Now the girl that was telling the story was like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe how my friend just gets everything she wants. It's about being clear about what you want, being assertive. This is already happening in our reality with people not even understanding the power that they hold within, that you're creating your reality. So that is how that person created their reality because of their experiences growing up. And that person grew up with a lot of money and things always at her door, that people showed up that way. And that's her continued experience. So understand you can shift into any experience by imagining that, by telling that story, by affirming, really telling the story. When I say that, I mean telling the story of that version of you. Tell the story of the version of you who's like, people want to make sure you're taken care of and you are cared for and they support you and they help you. Okay? Okay, so I was trying to remember what was the last question we left off on. So how our manifestations take time. My manifestations are fast. There you go. You have to live in okay, no matter what your manifestation is, think from the end. A powerful manifester, I want you to be thinking from the version of you. You are the God of your reality. You are the creator of your reality. Everything is responding to you. Everything comes instantly and quickly. It's really easy to live your life. It's easy to have a dream life. It's easy for gifts to show up in your world. It's easy to be surprised with amazing things every day. Start telling the story, painting the picture of the life you want to have instead of picturing the life you don't want to have. So my dog is sleeping over there. Okay, so if the old version of you is someone who is complaining, that you're not going to get what you want. When you're complaining, you're getting more things to complain about. Why didn't I pass that test? Why did that person look at me that way? Why? I can't even come up with any examples anymore because I don't fill my mind with those thoughts at all whatsoever. Okay, you know what I mean. Okay, no complaining. Start saying, I am going to get the best grade, or I am getting that new shirt. I love the idea of me having a whole new wardrobe. See, that would be the version of you who you're aligning with that experience happening in your reality. You don't have to think, I need more money or I need to get a promotion. You don't have to think about anything with money or job or somebody all you have to think about is, I love having new clothes. I love when I have a new sweater that's so cozy. Next thing you know, you might have someone tomorrow say, hey, I have this sweater I picked up for you. By the way, I had that happen to me. Okay, so I was like, oh, I wanted a cozy blanket. It was like a day later, cozy blanket was given to me. It felt very random at the time because that was in the beginning of my journey. Start focusing your attention on your preferred experiences and how you want people to treat you. Now affirm that. State that. Assume that. Practice saying that with your friends. When your friends are like, oh, it didn't work out. you know, be the person that cheers them on, saying, you know what, it's all going to work out somehow, some way. We don't even have to know how, but it's going to work out. I just believe it will. Okay. All right, guys, I love you all. If you need additional help, I do have one-on-one coaching available. I have a VIP group if you want to be part of a community, motivation. If you want videos from me, I do private videos 3 to 5 times a week in my VIP group. You can also watch old videos there, my previous recorded videos within the group. It's in an app. You can go to my link in my bio to access the VIP group if you're interested. I have my blueprint for creating your reality, which is my self-concept course, Master Your Reality by Mastering Your Self-Concept. You guys are powerful. I'm expecting more success stories. Keep going into your imagination. You're powerful, and have an amazing night. Okay, bye.